the WCNA exam. A little bit of history about this. So this is a website that offers a training package and the exam and pretty much everything. So once you go onto this site, you can go in and start clicking, for example, here on Info Pack, and this will give you all of the information that you need to prepare. You can register for the exam. You can do this right here, and this will give you information about how to register and sign up for the exam, the testing center, where to go, and so on. And also CP info. So there is a continuing professional education system, which once you are a Wireshark certified network analyst, you will be given access to the portal. So I'm logged into my portal here, and as you can see, you will be given an opportunity to take other classes, work within the community, and by doing so, you can keep your certification current and learn some more stuff about the Wireshark program, Wireshark itself, and so on. So that essentially will take you through the entire process of getting the ability to take the exam itself. And once you are signed up, then you just have to study and prepare and take the test. So the course goals map pretty much to preparing you for this exam. I do not recommend just taking a couple of videos and trying to sit the exam. This is an exam that requires you to not only use the tool, but prepare accurately for it. For example, my preparation for the exam focused on hands-on experience. It were focused on multiple books that I was reading, preparation going through the Wireshark .us. Actually, if you go in there, wireshark.org, the documentation itself, going through the documentation set for the tool. So there's a lot of exam prep required to passing this exam. I do not recommend sitting it without preparing for it and going through the syllabus. That is something that will definitely give you an edge to preparing for this exam. So when you go onto the Wireshark University site, you can, in that area where I showed you the exam prep, you can download the actual syllabus. And I just created a quick snippet of it here for you to see, but essentially it's going to go over all of the areas in which you need to prepare. There's a little key there on the screen, which just means it's a key topic. To me, what that meant was just definitely give that area more focused for the exam. But basically, you needed to know just about all of this information to pass the exam. So with the exam itself, how does it feel? What are some more of the relevant things? Again, if you accurately prepare for this exam by going through the books, by going through the videos, by using the tool, and this is the key concept here, by actually going through and opening the tool and trying to simulate if you're not doing this at work, or if it's something that you need more practice on even though you're doing at work, you basically need to go through the tool and make sure that you've mastered all of the areas. And when I say all of the areas, this is actually very important, because this is one of the things that, and this will be your first tip for the exam, most of us, we have a working knowledge and we have tasks we need to do on our jobs or for clients or customers. And I'll give you a good example. You could probably use Wireshark through your career and use it pretty well. Somebody might say, listen, I'm not getting an IP address here. Do you think you can give me a hand? And you can run a capture and say, yeah, we're not seeing the IP address come back to you. We're going to look and do some more analysis. Doing that work may never bring you into the tool itself to look at preferences. So let's pull up Wireshark here and I'll give you an example. So all that work I just said, you may never, ever, ever need to actually go into these menus here and go through each option. you may find yourself pigeonholing yourself into certain areas of the tool to be functional, and that's actually very good because you have a good advantage there of actually knowing some stuff about the tool. But a good example here would be have you gone into the preferences area and have you made adjustments here? So to prepare for the exam, there'll be certain things that they may want you to know. And again, I can't really disclose what's on the exam exactly, but I can give you tips and hints. You may never need to know that by default, checksum validation is turned off. So if I turn that on, what does that mean, and how does that impact the protocol analyzer? So that might change things drastically by showing me that when I pull some certain data, it's going to now validate the checksum. That may be something that you've never done but is tested heavily on the exam. So that's just one example. Other things could be, for example, the actual layout and the ordering of the panes. And again, we'll get into more of this as we go through the areas and do more of the deep dives, but I just wanted to give you an example of what to expect for the exam here. There's going to be a need for you to know very specific data and not just the basics of it, but more so the use of the tool itself. So another example I can give you is how many people have actually gone into the help menu. So people may not be aware of this, but this is something that you may find you need to focus your studies on. What is exactly in this area here, the folders and the plugins? What do these things really mean? So for example, if you were going to look and try to figure out some things where the C filters file is an example, so your default capture filters, where is that found? Your display filters, the basics of it, where is that found? So, and you will need to know this, here you can see that specifically you can get to these folders and these files, these default files, directly from the help menu. And understanding what's in these files is also relevant. So as an example, your capture filters, your default, specifically, you can configure that when you do your launchpad and you set up your capture options. You can set up your capture filter. What's the default list in there? What are they showing you? Well, they're showing you pretty much what's in the C filters file. And you can make adjustments to this file, and you can add things here that will show up when you boot up your Wireshark system the next time you open it. So again, these are the types of things that you may or may not know for the Wireshark exam, because you may never really do that. You may just open up Windows Explorer, or if you're using Linux or whatever other tool, you may just browse over to what it is you need, and quite frankly, you may not have even known it existed. But again, for the exam itself, these are very relevant topics that will be tested, and you will need to know and understand. Is the practice exam worth doing? So by that, if I'm answering this correctly, there is, with the WCNA registration, once you go through Web Assessor and you start getting involved in registering for the exam, there's a package where there's an actual practice exam offered. Honestly, I did not take that practice exam, so I cannot comment from experience on that practice exam. I did not take that practice exam, so I am not sure if it is worth doing. However, I will say this. The Wireshark University's books, their tools, everything that I did use was of all very top quality, and anything that I did use and anything I used outside of that all helped me prepare for this exam. So I would say that anything extra is worth giving it a shot. I could say this, that if it's from Wireshark University, it's probably geared towards testing your ability to pass the main exam. So although and I'm just guessing here, although it probably doesn't have it doesn't have identical questions. It'll show you and give you an idea of the type of questions, and I think this is what I was trying to cover earlier. So let me just spend a couple of minutes on that now, so that give an idea of what the type of question is. So when you're looking at the exam itself, and I'll pull up Wireshark here so you can see. Excuse me. So as an example, here's HTTP, and this may be something that you look at all the time, at work or in your studies. But specifically, what do these actual things mean? So, for example, HTTP functions with the TCP protocol here, Transmission Control Protocol. And a type of question may be, you have a problem with HTTP, however, the actual issue may be with TCP. So not understanding or seeing this window here in a test question and understanding it may throw you off, and a practice exam may help you clue in a little bit as to what that feel looks like. So I hope I answered your question with that. I didn't mean to really go very, very deeply in detail on it, but I think it's a very relevant question because this is a course focused around helping you get around the exam, or I should say pass it, not around it, but help you prepare and focus for the exam itself. Okay, let's see here. How long is the class run each day? I answered this in the forum. It's roughly 4 to 6 hours a day depending on breaks. If we need to run a little bit longer, we will. And also, just remember here, this is focused in two ways. It's to teach you about Wireshark, but it's also to help you prepare for the exam. Preparing for the exam and passing the exam is not going to be very relevant if you can't use the tool. So the two go hand in hand. It's very important to remember some of the key concepts that we talk about here. Again, fundamentally, and I had touched on this earlier, not knowing how to use the tool in its entirety is going to really set you back in your studies for this exam. There's going to be areas in this tool that you go into that you're probably not, or you may not be used to using or doing, and I think that is one of the main focuses of this exam. So and also this course. So another topic that we're going to cover is the use of the command line. So here's a good tip before we even get to that module. Just start practicing now. You don't need to fully master every aspect of the command line, but there's definitely going to be a need or an understanding of how to do that, and you can really find yourself with a set of questions on the exam. And again, there's about 100 questions, so there'll be a set of questions on specifics of T-Shark and merge cap, and how do I split up some files. So again, it's not impossible, but if you're not used to using this and you're just primarily working with the GUI, what you may want to do is before you take this exam, fire up T-Shark either in Windows or in Linux, and start playing with it and going through the commands and really getting an understanding of excuse me, how to save a file, how to run a capture, how to run, do capture filter, how to split up the file, how to merge them. So that is just something that you're going to have to understand